Howdy everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about going no contact, why it is so important and why it is so extremely effective. Now, going no contact is most dominantly used after a breakup. However, it is not breakup exclusive. You can go no contact if you're dealing with hot and cold behavior. You can go no contact if you've been ghosted. And you can go no contact if you just simply want to bring that energy back to you. And if you go no contact effectively, you will get the results that you want. And that's what I'm here to do today. I'm here to give you how you can go through no contact effectively to ensure that you get the results that you want. So stick around to the end of this video and I guarantee that you'll actually be excited to go into no contact. But before we get into that, hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Matthew. I'm a manifestation coach who has actually had the success of manifesting my own specific person back. So if you're in need of my help in getting you your person, just like I got myself mine, check the links down below in the comments section or the description. They'll take you to my website where you can see the services I offer to help you with just that. If you could leave a like and a comment on this video and even subscribe to the channel, that would help me out tremendously. With that out of the way, let's get into this video. I genuinely believe that the vast majority of people understand the power of no contact and they understand when they should go no contact. However, the idea of actually doing it scares them. And the reason being is when you think you should go no contact, the reasoning logical mind steps in and says, if we go no contact, if we don't text them, if we don't get our friend to contact them, if we don't bump into them in public, if we don't wish them happy birthday or send them a card or something, they will forget about us. They'll forget we ever even existed and just move on without a second thought. I can promise you, you will not be forgotten if you go no contact. It is simply not possible for you to be forgotten. And the reason being is this universe requires balance. So if you're chasing, if you're constantly reaching out, getting friends to contact them, wishing them happy birthday, wishing them Merry Christmas, trying to bump into them in public, you are taking on that role of a chaser. And like I said, this universe requires balance. So if you're a chaser, that must mean that they are chased, which means they're going to be constantly being pushed away by you. The more that you try to reach out, the more you beg, the more you plead, the more you message, the more you just remind them that you exist, the more you're taking that chaser role and the more they must run from you. In order for you to play the role of the chaser, they must play the role of the chased. Now, how can I promise you that if you do go no contact, you won't be forgotten? Balance. If you decide to go no contact, you're no longer in that position of the chased. You're no longer in that position of the chaser, which must mean by balance, you will be chased. So it may not be immediately, and I'll get onto that in a minute, but if you do decide to go no contact and take that energy back to you, you are no longer chaser, you are now stepping into the role of the chased. And that must mean that they must fulfill that role of chaser. An extremely important thing that you need to remember to aid toward this chaser dynamic is that you are doing no contact for you. Let me say that again. You are doing no contact for your benefit. You are not doing no contact to get them. You are not severing those ties so that they will become the chaser. That is a byproduct of why you are doing no contact. You are doing no contact in any kind of situation to bring this energy back to you. You are bringing that self-love, you are bringing that self-care back to you. Because often, like I mentioned with the examples at the beginning, going no contact comes as a result of you not feeling a level of fulfillment. You're hurt from a breakup. You're not getting the love you want because they're hot and cold. You feel abandoned because they've ghosted you. Or for some other reason, you want to bring that energy back to you. All of these things imply that you don't feel this level of fulfillment. You don't feel fulfilled, happy, joyful. You don't feel good right now, which is why you're going no contact. So while yes, getting them back is a byproduct of you going no contact, ultimately you are doing it for you. And this is how you can effectively step into that chased role. Because if you're going no contact under the basis of, I'm going no contact, I hope they remember me, I hope they reach out to me, I hope they wonder where I'm going and that will make them reach out, or I hope they miss me, I hope they this, I hope they that, you are still placing your mental energy on them being the chased. Even though, yes, physically you've withdrawn your energy and that's definitely a great start, if you've withdrawn your energy under the basis of hopefully this will get their attention, you are still chasing them. You are still allowing yourself to say, hopefully this gets their attention. Hopefully they reach out to me. Hopefully they now want to come back to me because they realize I'm going to go somewhere else. That is still mentally chasing them. That is still seeing them up here, and you've got to do some sort of technique to make them come to you. And by technique, I mean the no contact. Like, you've got to do some sort of mind game to make them come back to you. That is not stepping into the role of the chased. That is stepping into the role of a chaser who just isn't physically chasing, but is mentally chasing. And considering our thoughts create and the awareness that we place on them, if you're still in that mentality, that is why you will not get the results. And I think this is the key thing as to why so many people who do go no contact don't get their results. I genuinely believe that factor there is why the success rate of no contact is not as high as it should be. And that is why I got my specific person back after going no contact. And that is another thing that I want to slightly touch on. I did not, from literally the second I stepped out of this door after we broke up, I did not message. I did not get anyone to talk to her. I did not do anything. I did not do anything to remind her that I existed. So I can promise you that it will work if you do sever the ties. But what I did do is I dwelled in a state of us being together, happy, loving, in this amazing relationship. I dwelled on the idea of me being worthy and deserving of this relationship, because that is what is important. If you want to step into that chased role, step one, cut the ties, go no contact. And I understand for some of you, there may not be the outcome of entire no contact. For example, if you have kids together or if you have a house together, but go no contact as far as you can. So that's step one, is severing the physical ties. Step two is severing the mental ties. You are not going no contact to get their attention. You are not going no contact to remind them of your absence. You are not going no contact to hope that they realize that they've lost you and they'll come back. Because all of this is still keeping them up here. All of this is saying, I need to do mind games or some sort of dating coach technique in order to get your attention. That is still the role of a chaser. So what you do, step one, cut the physical ties. Step two, cut the mental ties. Step three, put all of that focus and energy on yourself and this relationship being done. So by yourself, what would a chaste person look like? You would have this inner understanding, this inner knowing, this inner self-love of, I'm angelic, I'm badass, they are so lucky to have my attention. They are craving me, they adore me, they love me, they're healthily obsessed with me. I'm so unique, I'm so attractive, I'm so special, I'm so amazing, I'm so incredible. I'm the only person that will ever hold like light in their eyes, whatever it is that you want to refer to yourself. But think of it, take a second to write it down if you need to. What would you being chaste look like? How would you need to feel about yourself? Because remember, the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you perceive other people to perceive you is exactly what your experience will be. So if you go no contact and still choose to believe that they're above you, still choose to believe that they're not going to come to you because they did the breaking up, or because they're the one being hot and cold, or they've ghosted you, so why would they ever want your attention? That will continue to play out. So that is why when you do go no contact, you must sever the physical and the mental ties and put all of that energy on, I am badass, I am angelic, I am incredible, they're lucky to have my attention. They know they're lucky to have my attention. They know that they are the ones that need to work for my love. They know that they were lucky to have me in the first place. So while you're doing that and working on yourself and stepping into that role of the chaser, taking on that state of, on that role of the chaste and taking on that role of being chaste, you must also then dwell in the reality of you being in your end result. Because we don't get what we want, we get what we are. So if you want them to chase you, step into someone who is chaste. If you want this amazing, loving, passionate, committed relationship that was better than it has ever been, step into the role of that being the case up here. Because no contact is a great tool. It really is a great tool because it helps in so many other things, which I'm about to get onto in a minute. But the main thing that it does is it allows you to bring that energy back to you. When you're dealing with someone in the 3D and you're still trying to pursue them, or you're still trying to convince them to love you, or you're still dealing with an undesirable circumstance or an undesirable version of them, it's a lot harder to step into that angelic or that badass version of yourself, because you're constantly being knocked down by them treating you like crap, or by them not treating you the way that you want to be treated. And when you've got this 3D circumstance telling you that you haven't got what you want, it's so much more difficult to get what you want. Not in terms of the LOA process, because to the universe, everything is as easy as everything else, but to our logical reasoning mind of convincing ourselves that we are angelic or badass, while someone else is sitting there saying, you're not worthy enough to me. It's a lot more difficult. So no contact is so extremely effective at taking yourself out of that situation, so that the only thing that you have to work on is your own thoughts. You're not changing your thoughts but still being bombarded with the 3D. You're not changing your thoughts and still being bombarded by the person's words or actions. It's just you and your thoughts. And when you're in this position, it's a lot easier to change those thoughts to be of the reality of you being that badass or angelic person, or you being in this relationship. But remember, you're doing no contact for you. You're going no contact to bring in that level of fulfillment for yourself. This is where you treat yourself with the utmost respect, the utmost love, the utmost priority. What you wanted them to treat you like, that's when you start treating yourself like it. Because when you start doing that, when you start loving yourself, when you start being there for yourself, when you start realizing that you are the most important person in your life, no one else will compare. But the good thing about this is, because you have this heightened self-concept, no one else is ever going to be on that pedestal above you. And therefore, you're going to be able to just pick and choose who and what you want. You're going to sit there and say, oh, X that broke up with me because I wasn't enough. Well, now I realize my potential. Now I realize my power. Now I realize my worth. You're lucky to have my attention. You're lucky to have ever been in my life. You're lucky that I'm even still considering us being in this relationship now. You're lucky that you have this opportunity to still text me because I allowed you to keep my number on your phone. Because you are the operant power. You're the dominant power in your reality. You're the only power in your reality even. And therefore, when you have that self-love, when you go no contact and bring it all back to you, you're stepping into that chaste role. You're sitting back, the queen or king of your throne, and letting your person have their opportunity. You're allowing your, whatever it is, whatever situation you're in, but you're sitting back, allowing things to come to you because you understand your worth. And that is the power of no contact. That is the power of taking yourself out of a negative situation to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your self-love. Because when you start to prioritize and love yourself, it's a lot easier for you to understand and to dwell in the state of someone else loving and prioritizing you. And because you've changed this sense of self, and then you've changed the way that they've perceived you, you must get that result. You cannot be denied. Where your focus goes is where energy flows. So if you're focusing on you being angelic and badass and them viewing you as angelic and badass, they must show up to prove to you that you're angelic and badass. And that is the key to no contact. That is the power behind no contact. And that is exactly what I did. I severed ties as soon as I stepped out of that door. I didn't even take my key ring with the kids on it. I know that may sound bad, but I literally just left my key there, severed all ties for the time being. Only because I knew that dealing with the version of them that I was dealing with in the 3D was only going to get me negative versions of them more, because it wasn't the version that I wanted. So I severed all ties because I knew that if I dwelled in the end state of being in this relationship, if I worked on my self-concept, I would not be denied this manifestation. So I had the confidence and the calmness to let it all go for that momentary time, because I knew that I would not be denied it. It's almost kind of like reverse psychology sort of thing, or like a reverse effect. It feels like cutting ties is the wrong thing to do, and your logical reasoning mind will be screaming at you to message them, screaming at you to wish them happy birthday. But in actuality, when you do cut those ties and you put all that power on you and on the relationship being the way that you want, the universe will make it happen. You don't have to. So you don't have to remind them that you love them. that they love you, or that you love them, or that you exist. You don't have to remind them of that one time 20 years ago when you messaged them happy birthday, even though you had only just met, or something stupid. You don't have to do this, because your reality is dictated by your thoughts. So if your thought is, I must message them in order for them to remember me, what is that implying? That implies that you're not memorable unless you do something. That implies that you're not worth anything unless you do something. Is that putting you on a pedestal? Is that allowing you to have that sense of heightened self? No, it's not. But what does happen if you choose to cut those ties and dwell in the end state of having your reality is the universe will put those pieces together. So let's say theoretically they do just somehow forget because you've got no contact. Your universe will be built upon your thoughts, which means something will happen to remind them that you exist. Something will. It just simply has to, because that's where your focus has gone. So it could be your friend bumps into them accidentally and they get talking and then they remember you as a result. That's assuming that they do just forget you. But come on, do you really think that they're going to forget you? Do you really think that they're just going to move on that easily because you've not talked to them? It's the opposite. By not chasing them, they're not being chased. They're not being fulfilled. Think about it the other way. Now that you're not chasing them, and I know obviously no one has free will and everything, but let's just, for the argument's sake, you've stopped chasing them, which means they're now no longer being validated and fulfilled by their specific person who was you. So think about it the other way. By you cutting that physical and mental tie to the version of them that they are now, because remember, you're connecting with the version of them they're going to become, not the version of them now, which means this version won't have any of your validation, won't have any of your attention. They're going to be starved of your mental energy, just like you feel starved of theirs, which is why you're chasing. So if you now flip that script, you will be chased as a result. They will now feel at a loss. They will now probably start getting their friends to contact you, start trying to accidentally bump into you. No contact is actually probably your best friend. You can make so much use of it. I realize this video is getting quite long, so I pretty much said everything I want to say, but I'm just going to sum it up just in case you've forgotten everything and you've made it this far. Step 1, go no contact physically. Stop messaging. Don't look for reasons to message. Happy birthday, who gives a fuck? Christmas, who cares? New Year, no one cares. Do not, under any circumstance, unless you absolutely have to, for example, if you've got kids or if you've got they want stuff from their house, or you really need to pick up something from their house. If you have to, fine. But if you don't, do not come up with a reason to message. Do not do it. You owe it to yourself. So that's the first step, cutting physical ties. Second step, cut mental ties. You are no longer saying, I hope that they want me because of this. I hope this little mind trick will work on them. I hope that going no contact makes them realize what they've lost. We are no longer doing that, because that is you stepping into that chaser role. You are still doing this in order to get their attention. You may as well just message them to remind them that you exist if you're going to do this. So cut that mental tie. Step 3, place all of that mental energy and physical energy that you were placing on chasing them on yourself. I'm angelic. I'm badass. They're lucky to have my attention. They're lucky I even gave them the time of day. They'd be lucky if I even opened their message. I'm so unique. I'm special. They know that I'm special. They understand that I'm special. They understand just how much they love me. I prioritize and love myself. I will accept the best and only the best. I will be provided the best and only the best. And you start putting this onus on you being this angelic, amazing God, goddess, king, queen of a person, because that's what you are and that's what you deserve. And then step 4, but I kind of suppose it molds into step 3, place your focus on the end result of being in the relationship that you want. Put it on love, passion, commitment, marriage, children, living together, traveling the world together, everything being amazing, everything being incredible. That is your focus. That and building up yourself is your focus. And you persist in this and you live for you and you enjoy this time while you're separate from them to do everything you've ever wanted to do. And you will be guaranteed your desire. You will be rewarded your person. If you sever those ties and you become outcome independent and you know that you're doing it for you, because that's what is the key, it's got to be for you, you cannot be denied. This universe cannot deny you. It is dictated by your thoughts. So if your thoughts are on the place of, I'm a goddess, god, king, queen, we're in this lovely, amazing relationship, you've severed the ties so you have nothing out there to stop yourself from reacting to. Whenever you might have this missing them or this little urge to message them, you just go, why would I want to do that? I know my worth. I know I'm incredible. So why would I ever want to do that? And then you bring it all back to you. Everything always back to you. It is what it is. I know I'm worthy of it. They want my attention. They're crying and begging and pleading without me, for example. Obviously, you don't want to put anything negative out there. You don't want to sort of say that they can't eat and can't sleep without you, because that's just cruel. So we don't want to do that. But you put that onus on, why would I care? Because they absolutely adore me. I absolutely adore me. And you stay persisting in this and you will get your result. And this is exactly what I did to get my person. From when I stepped out that door until when I realized they called me and I called them back because I'd missed their call, I did not do anything for them. I did not do any messaging, chasing, mental chasing. Any thoughts about them was, oh, we're in this lovely relationship. I remember when we weren't so good, but now we're amazing. All that kind of stuff. I did nothing else of any kind of chasing. And I started working on me. And the day before she called, I said to myself, it is what it is. If I get her, great. If I don't, I know I'm going to be fine. Do you know why I'm going to be fine? I trust myself. I love myself. I am not going to throw myself away, throw my life away, throw my heart away for someone. And yes, I created the breakup, but I'm not going to throw myself away because I have so much love for someone. I have more love for myself. And that is the key to no contact. If you follow that, you will be rewarded your person. I really hope this video has helped. If it has, leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.